Good morning, Commissioners. You may be seated. A reading from Ephesians chapter 1. Hear Paul's words. I have heard of your faith in the Lord Jesus and your love toward all the saints. And for this reason, I do not cease to give thanks for you as I remember you in my prayers, that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give you a spirit of wisdom and revelation as you come to know God, so that with the eyes of your heart enlightened, you may perceive what is the hope to which she's called you, what are the riches of his glorious inheritance among the saints, and what is the immeasurable greatness of God's power for us who believe, according to the working of God's great power. Let us pray. Wise God, be in our heads and in our understanding, be in our eyes and in our looking, be in our mouths and in our speaking, be in our heart and in our thinking. Grant us clear vision and courage for the journey. Guide us as we meet together today. In your Son's name, amen. I now declare this assembly duly constituted and competent to deal with any business that may properly come before it. Business Committee.
Thank you, Moderator. First of all, the committee for leave to withdraw, we have a report, and you'll see it on the screen. As a reminder, the Business Committee receives the reasons from each person for why they need to withdraw and makes that decision, but we don't share all of that information with the Assembly. That would be too much information.
Microphone 4.
Moderator Brenda Patterson from the Presbyterian of London. I wish to remind the court that I have sent in my leave to withdraw, and apparently there was some problem with it being received for tomorrow's Sederunt.
Yeah, we haven't seen it, but that's fine. I believe, Moderator, we can deal with that now.
Sure.
You're requesting leave to withdraw for tomorrow's Sederunt?
Yes, I am.
Okay, consider that added.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Thank you, Moderator. And we'll also have the agenda for today. Obviously, we've had to make some changes. Our final ecumenical guest will be speaking this morning, and then you see the rest of the agenda there.
Great, thank you. We'll have the convener of the Special Committee read hopes and concerns of Hungarian Presbyterians. Oh, that's right here.
Moderator, I'm Victor Kim, the Presbytery of East Toronto. I'm not a commissioner. I'm speaking to this report of the special committee as the convener of the committee. The report of the committee will be moved by, I have people, there we go, Frank Satsmari, and the seconder will be Laurie Mackay from Calgary MacLeod. Moderator, last year, the Assembly appointed a special committee in response to a number of overtures that we had received from Hungarian sessions within the Presbyterian Church in Canada. And that special committee was given terms of reference to respond to primarily the pastoral needs and concerns of Hungarian-speaking Presbyterians within our denomination, especially those who were in areas which did not have easy access or close access to where Hungarian-speaking ministries currently exist. So the members of the committee were the Hungarian-speaking ministers within our denomination. They're listed in the report with a couple of other people that were named by the Life and Mission Agency, along with both Jeff and I as the clerks of assembly. So our primary work really focused on creating a position description for this pastoral visitor position, which had been approved by the General Assembly last year in the creation of the special committee. And we also talked about what a path forward to address the continued concerns and hopes of Hungarian-speaking Presbyterians within the PCC might look like. The regions for coverage with these pastoral visitors were identified as one primarily being in the west, the prairies, one in the Toronto and southwestern Ontario region, one between Ottawa and Montreal. So, having received some questions and suggestions, we consulted with the Life and Mission Agency, reviewed the kinds of models that might be effective for these kinds of appointments, drafted the terms of reference and the qualifications, and that's what's in the report to the Assembly this year. We're not seeking permission for these positions because that was granted last year for us to draft up the terms of reference for them. So they're here, the responsibilities, the terms of service, the accountability and review, the key competency requirements, the minimum qualifications. The funding for these positions would come from new and renewing ministries based on our minimum stipend and allowances schedule. Also in our work, we received a letter from the Hungarian Reformed Church as a response to an inquiry made by some of the Hungarian ministers on our committee. And that letter said to us that the Hungarian Reformed Church was quite eager to develop a relationship with the Presbyterian Church in Canada so that they would be able to send pastors from Hungary to this mission of the Hungarian mission in Canada. So we know that that wasn't in our terms of reference to create that sort of relationship with the Hungarian Reformed Church. It's not part of our mandate, but we are putting into a recommendation that an exploration of that possible partnership be referred to the Life and Mission Agency. So the recommendation that is before the Assembly would be recommendation 1, that exploration of a possible relationship with the Hungarian Reformed Church and any arrangements which may arise around ministers of the Hungarian Reformed Church providing pastoral services to the Hungarian Reformed diaspora within the Presbyterian Church in Canada be referred to the Life and Mission Agency. So that motion is moved and seconded.
Any discussion?
Somebody else.
Microphone 2.
Duncan Robertson, Presbyterian of Montreal. As a member of the Church Life Committee in Montreal, of the Presbyterian of Montreal, we just visited our Hungarian community, and the proposal of a possible relationship with the Hungarian Reformed Church fills me with great hope, because in Montreal, as some of you may know, we've got 2 languages. And the Hungarians, some of them come from Romania, some of them come from Hungary or other countries, and some of them have English as a second language, some of them have French as a second language, so having a Hungarian-speaking minister is essential for maintaining the unity of this community.
Thank you. Microphone 4.
Moderator Glenn Kukula from the Lindsay Peterborough Presbytery. I was reading some of the sort of documentation on how this arrangement might be done. And one of the items, of course, is a lot of it's referred to the Life and Mission agency, but I am to understand, though, that within that arrangement, that the minister or pastor will be attending a presbytery, that they will be accountable to the presbytery in the region that they're located. Is that correct?
Moderator, yes. The relationship would be with the presbytery where the pastoral visitor is located. Certainly if they are ordained ministers of the Presbyterian Church in Canada, or eventually otherwise, they would be accountable to the presbytery where they are situated. Okay. And a non-ordained person with the appropriate training would also be within the oversight of the presbytery where they are residing.
Okay.
And their credentials will be then checked with education reception, or how will their
Moderator, if the candidates are currently ministers within the Presbyterian Church in Canada, of course they are already credentialed. Mm-hmm. If they are lay people with specific training for pastoral visitation, as it says under the key competency requirements, and the accountability and review is that they would be appointed by the Life and Mission Agency in consultation with the Hungarian ministers on the special committee, which are the active Hungarian ministers right now within our denominations. Within our denomination, the LMA will review the role and position every 6 months, and there will be regular reports to the LMA and to the Hungarian Presbyterian ministers regularly, and there will be a review of the position conducted by the LMA and the Hungarian Presbyterian ministers before the completion of the first 3-year term.
Okay. Well, under those considerations, then I would be in support of the motion.
Thank you. Microphone 3.
Bartholomew Alexander, Presbytery of Calgary, McLeod. Question, are there Hungarian ministers here today? Because I spoke to one who had mentioned the possibility of amendment. I just wanted to make sure he was here to do that.
Moderator, that's completely up to those who may be in the room.
Oh, I see. Okay, so something is coming after this.
Okay, very well.
Yeah, thank you. So on this motion, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Microphone 1.
Moderator, since it was raised already, the qualification
Just
of
hang on. Sorry, do you have a motion?
Zoltán Vers, and yes, I have. Zoltán Vers and East Toronto Presbytery.
Yeah, let's just wait till the motion comes on the screen. There we go. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, since it was raised that the qualification of these people who would do this tremendous work, it would be really very important. And this is a very new territory, what we are just aiming to do. And this is an ethnic Hungarian mission in Canada. And we are in real trouble how to call this, and I would like to ask the wisdom of the moderator and of the General Assembly that pastoral visitor would be the right title for these missionaries who would do this tremendous work. But my addition motion is that the minimum qualification of the pastoral visitor position includes formal preparation and mission, cross-cultural ministry, and pastoral leadership, and in accordance with the Book of Forms 215 to 221, governing appointments to specialized ministries.
Just a moment. All right, thanks for your patience. So just in case you don't have the Book of Forms memorized, I don't, not yet. What 215 to 221 says is that the pastoral visitor would have to be an ordained minister. My understanding of the discussion of the last General Assembly was the commission was empowered to make a job description for this visitor, and working with the Hungarian ministers as part of this committee, they did, and that job description was not restricted to ordained ministers. So I am going to rule this out of order.
Moderator.
And moderator, I think that we have to revisit this report, and the committee to, I would like to do my other motion, which would be
Yes, so...
to refer it back to the special committee and this issue, because we feel that
just hang on. I really want to hear about this, but first, I just want to be totally transparent. We're going to move on from that motion unless someone wants to challenge the moderator. So that is an option. Okay, you'd like to move on to the next motion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. That the report of the special committee addressing concern and hopes of Hungarian-speaking Presbyterians within the Presbyterian Church in Canada be referred back to the special committee to review the minimum qualifications of the pastoral visitor position to include formal preparation in mission, cross-cultural ministry, and pastoral leadership, and in accordance with the Book of Forms mentioned, governing appointments to specialized ministries.
So you are adding to what's on the screen?
This is a new.
Oh, there it is.
New
Okay.
motion, yeah.
Okay, with that addition. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to rule this out of order unless the last phrase is removed, the "and in accordance with the Book of Forms 215 to 221, because that was why the previous motion was ruled out of order. or restricting the visitor to be only an ordained minister.
Moderator, can I speak to this?
Yes, go ahead.
The
But there's
reason,
not a motion on the floor, just to be clear.
the reason we are asking this, we are just investing a large amount of money in these three pastoral visitors or missionaries who will go without any tools into the large Canadian prairies and wherever they will go. And they should have enough tool in their mind and in their soul to be able to do this job. This is a huge work. It's not like a pastoral ministry, a parish ministry where you have all the tools and everything. This has to be trained, these people, and they have to have all the ministerial abilities to be able to do this work. We feel, and the Hungarian ministers, they were strongly supporting this. We don't understand why we cannot come up with this proposal, because it's the interest of the Presbyterian Church in Canada to have trained, well-equipped ministers to this huge job to be done.
Thank you. In our church, we have lay leaders with specialized training that are very effective in our churches, and there was no specification at last year's General Assembly, and the special committee, which included the Hungarian ministers, came up with the job description. So at this point, you can remove that last phrase, and we'll discuss the motion as that is. You can challenge my ruling, or we'll need to move on.
We can remove it. I don't care about that. The importance is you can remove the last sentence.
Okay. So
But,
we'll get that done. Just hang on and then. Okay. So that's the motion before us.
Moderator?
Yeah.
May I just address the motion to refer? As you've noted, all of the Hungarian-speaking ministers within the PCC were part of the special committee that came up with the report. To refer back to the committee to review this is really asking the committee to redo their work, which they believe that they've completed. Part of that work is very clear that any appointment of a pastoral visitor will be done by the Life and Mission Agency in consultation with the Hungarian ministers. So I think the understanding here is that the Hungarian ministers have a big say in who actually is hired to those positions. And if there's any doubt or concern that the people who may be candidates for these positions don't possess what the Hungarian ministers believe are the gifts needed for this kind of work, well, the terms of reference for these positions clearly state that that's how they're going to be appointed. So I don't know why it'd be referred back. Ian's on. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Microphone 4.
Ian Ross MacDonald, the Life and Mission Agency. The things that are outlined at the end of the recommendation are things that are routinely provided for in the preparation and support of ministries that are appointed, ministers and pastoral practitioners of ministry in a number of different contexts through the regular preparation of the Life and Mission Agency when such appointments are made.
Any others for discussion? Microphone 4.
Moderator Frank Satmari, Waterloo Wellington Presbytery. I do believe that the special committee did a great
Point of
job
order.
with due diligence.
Moderator, point of order.
Yes.
According to the card we have, all commissioners have been issued. A motion to refer is debatable, yes, only if, where, and when.
Okay. I apologize. You are very much correct. I wasn't thinking of it with everything else in the motion. It is a motion to refer, so we need to discuss if, where, or when. If to refer it, where to refer it, when to refer it.
Moderator, I would speak against this motion because I know that the special committee did a great job, and we fully trust the Life and Mission Agency will do an amazing job prayerfully. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, I saw it. 4 and then 2.
Moderator Robert Hayashi from Presbyterian of Oak Ridges. It is with all due respect that I challenge the ruling of the moderator, and perhaps it is my misunderstanding, moderator. Did the court not already address recommendation AHP 001? Did we not vote on that? So how can we then refer a motion that has already been addressed and voted on back to somewhere else? So I respectfully challenge the decision of the moderator. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, moderator, I'll just explain. There's a correction to the motion to refer, that it's not a motion to refer, and apologies for the confusion. It's not a motion to refer the motion number 1 that we had adopted, but rather it's an additional motion to refer the report back to the special committee to address this particular concern. So what was ruled out of order was a previous additional motion. The moderator was going to rule this referral out of order unless those last words were removed. Those have been removed, and so the motion, the moderator has received this as being in order. It's an additional motion, not a referral of the first motion that was already adopted.
So I think it's on mic 2.
Gibson McElrath. Sorry, am I recognized?
Just hang on. I think we
Yes.
have to know if you're still challenging, because then we need to vote.
Moderator Robert Hayashi, Presbyterian of Oak Ridges. No, thank you for the explanation to the deputy clerk. I take back my challenge to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Microphone 2.
Gibson McElrath, Waterloo, Wellington. I'm getting confused here because if a motion is ruled out of order, in fact, it doesn't exist. That ruling can be challenged, but the motion doesn't exist and can't be referred. Am I right? Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. I'll give a quick explanation to it. So the moderator indicated that she would rule the motion to refer out of order unless the words that were at the end in accordance to the book, section of the Book of Forms that was listed. If that was not removed, it would be out of order. But the moderator has indicated that it would be in order if those words were removed. The mover of the motion asked for that section to be removed, and so the moderator received it as being in order.
Sorry for the confusion. Microphone 3.
Bartholomew Alexander from the Presbyterian of Calgary-MacLeod. I have a question, If this were to be referred back, would that delay the implementation of this motion?
I'm not an expert to say, but I would assume the more people that are involved, the longer it takes, the more groups involved.
Thank you.
Microphone 4.
Susan Brazier, Presbyterian Montreal. If it is going to delay the appointment of the 3 visitors, then I would advocate that we vote against this, because this work is very, very much needed to have these additional resources for our Hungarian churches.
Thank you. Would the mover like the last word? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I am reluctant to say we don't want to delay, that's for sure. Not our intention is. Our intention was that to have those who are sent in mission would be well prepared, and that's understandable. But other reason we don't have. If that we still can include, as I heard that the Hungarian ministers, they will have their voice in appointment. This is not in that report, what Victor said to us, and we would like to make sure that this is in that report, and if that's in this way, then I don't want to press forward.
Moderator, it's absolutely in the report.
In the report?
Absolutely. You approved it.
Okay. Well, I don't question that, but what we had in our mind that this has to be clarified, and this is the place where we can clarify all things, and the support of the General Assembly is very important for us.
Thank you. And from what I know, there is a lot of support for this position. Okay, we're voting on this motion to refer. All those in favor? Opposed? The motion is defeated. Thank you.
Moderator, the report as a whole.
Report as a whole, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. And thank you to the committee and all of the Hungarian ministers for doing this important work. Church Doctrine Committee.
Moderator, my name is Stephen Jackson. I'm the convener of the Church Doctrine Committee. The mover and seconder for this report are John Crawford, Presbytery of New Brunswick, and Robert Revington, Presbytery of Oak Ridges. As far as I know, they're both in the room. Shall I proceed? Moderator, my mother named me after Stephen, the first deacon and first martyr. And we heard today about that. And it appears that Stephen was martyred for talking too long, but the instructions from the clerks is to be brief. So I will try and avoid my namesake's outcome. Moderator, there are 4 matters that require recommendations in the report of the Doctrine Committee. There are 5 recommendations. I have to alert you to the fact that the summary of the report seems to have 4 recommendations, but the report itself has 5. And I understand from Connie that all 5 will be on the screen when we come to the time for it. So I hope that avoids any confusion. So the first matter is the matter relating to MAID in pastoral situations. So I will be brief. I just remind us that in 1923, this General Assembly asked the Church Doctrine Committee the following, that the Church Doctrine Committee produce a document for the 150th, that's the GA of 2025, last year, using the term medical assistance in dying, MAID, that will assist the church to respond faithfully and practically in pastoral situations. Last year, my predecessor as convener came before the General Assembly and reported that we were not complete. I then took over from my predecessor, and may I say, Jeremy has been very helpful in my transition into this role, and I'm very grateful to that. But I inherited this particular issue. So the Doctrine Committee reviewed this during our meetings over the year, and you'll see in the report a thorough report of what our outcome is. In brief summary, the purpose of the report is not to applaud or condemn any decisions with respect to MAID, but it is to provide pastoral and theological reflection and to understand the church's role and faithful response when MAID has been chosen. But it is clear from the report that the Church Doctrine Committee's opinion is that the church is in opposition to MAID. But, or in the report it says, and we advocate for a steadfast commitment to compassionate pastoral care for all who are affected in the MAID process. So as I said, we're not condemning. We have indicated that we don't approve, but we believe, and when you read the report, you'll see this, that we need to extend greater care to people that are looking at taking MAID because many answers are available. But also to be clear, we also recognize the breadth of the effect of MAID because we examined the effect on family members, etc., when somebody takes MAID. So those people also need care. So the pastoral care issue is huge, and it needs resources. But that, in summary, is the position we've taken with respect to MAID. Moderator, should I mention the letter, or we'll leave that until the next?
I think we'll leave that until next. Actually, this is a little out of the ordinary, but please remove the motion from the screen. I've had a request, stand up. Because this is such a difficult issue and happening in our families, within our friend group, within our churches, and sometimes one of the drawbacks of our court system is that with something this sensitive, we don't have time to hear everyone's story should they wish to speak. And in some cases, a person would not want to speak because it was so personal. So before we get into the debate, this has been requested by a member of this court, and so before we get into the debate, I'm going to allow for 15 minutes of conversation. I'll let the clerks time that. And it's simply informal, please don't all disappear. It's simply informal conversation around the tables. If you wish, if you don't wish to share, that's fine, but I do hope that everyone wants to speak can. If there aren't many at your table, you can combine if you wish. I know you're all adults and in the church, so I'm not going to give you a list of questions. Simply your experience of MAID and where you are on the journey of trying to figure this out with your faith, as a part of your faith, and where your experience pastorally as well. So go ahead, have some conversation, and after that, we'll look at the motions.
Moderator, point of order. I'm just wondering if people, this is just 15 minutes of conversation. It's not, would this be facilitated by a motion to be operated as committee in the whole?
The request I had was that it not be committee of the whole, that it be an informal conversation, like just within the table group. So that's what we're going to do, but thank you.
Thank you.
Microphone 2, just because you're the one
I'm
who
the
brought
one who made
this
the
to me.
request, yeah. The reason for not requesting committee of the whole is just because we would be responsible for reporting the decisions of the committee of the whole coming out of it, and pastorally, this seemed to be a better way of giving people space.
Okay, go ahead. Blessings on your conversations. All right, please let's come back together. Nice music. Thank you so much for your flexibility and for your willingness to share and be vulnerable. And now we're going to proceed with the report. Go ahead. Thanks.
Thank you. So, moderator, at this point, recommendation CDC 001, which is on your screen, and it's on page 4 of the report, is before you. It's moved and seconded.
All right. Thank you. Microphone 3, then 1. Yeah.
Moderator Neil Ellis, Presbyterian of Lindsay, Peterborough. And moderator, I speak against this recommendation. Given the time frame that the Doctrine Committee has had to respond, I find what has been provided to be wholly insufficient. The committee has had 3 years to provide a pastoral response as directed by the 2023 General Assembly. What has been provided is bullet points. The final 2 points of Section 6 are conjecture and assumption. The document refers to itself as a pastoral response, yet there is no pastoral response there, nor are pastoral resources provided. What I find this response to be to the issue of medical assistance in dying is judgmental, condemnation, and ultimately, I believe, will cause harm. Moderator, I cannot support this recommendation.
Okay. And we'll keep our comments to the content of the motion, not the work ethic of the committee. But thank you. 1.
Thank you, moderator. Deb Stanbury, Presbyterian of Hamilton. I agree with some of the sentiments raised by the previous speaker. I also speak against this recommendation. I don't think the response to me does not feel complete, and I think it lacks some of the pastoral and practical things that ministers would find helpful. Ministers and pastoral visitors and congregations might find helpful in walking with someone who might be considering MAID, and that might include worship resources and prayers that could be offered to families, and some of that is perhaps beyond the scope of the Church Doctrine Committee, but I'm not sure that I don't feel like what's being provided really gives the pastoral resources that are needed.
Okay, thank you. Microphone 4.
Jeffrey Crawford, the Presbyterian of Waterloo, Wellington. Moderator, as I have read and reread this report, I keep asking myself the following question. Is the church primarily trying to establish a theological position on MAID, or is it trying to equip leaders and congregations to respond faithfully when MAID is chosen? As I pondered that question and continued to do so at my table this morning, humbly, I must speak against the motion before us. I do so for the following 2 reasons. I find that there's a lack of practical theology for equipping leaders in the response. The request that gave rise to this work, as has been in reference from Acts and Proceedings in 2023, states, to assist the church in responding faithfully and practically in pastoral situations. At this moment in the life of the church, I believe we need a robust practical theology that is grounded in the lived experience of healthcare professionals, psycho-spiritual leadership, hospital and hospice chaplains, teaching and ruling elders, and the stories of the whole people of God.
as a minister who has journeyed with family members and beloved congregational members through MAID, I desire a practical pastoral response. I seek a resource to support decision-making. I seek words of prayer and a liturgy for the bedside. I seek support for a ministry of presence. I seek guidance on the holy act of listening. I seek guidance on accompaniment. And moderator, the second reason that I speak against the recommendation is I find the lack of a hermeneutic grounded in the lover, the beloved, and love. Biblically, love seeks the flourishing of the beloved. When I read the scriptures that are referenced in the report, and in particular Romans chapter 8, that nothing in life or death will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord, I do not hear any words of judgment related to the end of life. Rather, I hear humanity as a decision maker capable of discerning. And in that discernment, I am reminded that the lover, Jesus Christ, consistently responds to human suffering with compassion and wholeness, which leads to the exercise of faithful stewardship. I suggest we relook at this with a hermeneutic that shifts away from, is this action permitted or forbidden, towards a hermeneutic that asks, how is God's love being expressed, received, or gifted in this situation? Therefore, moderator, through you, I speak against the motion.
Thank you. Microphone 3.
Moderator, I too speak against the recommendation before the court. Angela Clooney, Presbytery of Pickering. As the original mover of the recommendation that is before us from the 2023 Assembly, I was very disheartened to see this response from the Church Doctrine Committee. It does not answer the prayer that was asked of the recommendation to respond faithfully and practically in pastoral situations. As a minister who has walked and journeyed with many congregants and people of faith and people who are not of faith, through this situation, I have been asked to hold their hand, to push them into a room where they might be receiving MAID, when they have told me they see their Lord and Savior coming to welcome them into their arms. And to share this document as a response for the church of which I am so proud to serve, and to be able to walk in the role as a pastor, it is heartbreaking that this is our response. So therefore, moderator, I have moved a motion to refer this recommendation to the Life and Mission Agency. It is moved by myself, Angela J. Clooney, Presbytery of Pickering, and seconded by Neil Ellis, Presbytery of Lindsay, Peterborough. That recommendation may be referred to the Life and Mission Agency to develop a pastoral response with helpful liturgical resources to assist ministers, chaplains, and pastoral visitors walking alongside those considering MAID and their families, as well as those who have chosen MAID, as it will therefore answer the prayerful concern of the original recommendation that was presented at the 2023 Assembly and was supposed to be responded to at the 150th Assembly last year.
Thank you. We have a motion to refer, so we'll deal with that right now, of course. If people, and the Yars would like an advisory vote. So this motion to refer, does anyone wish to speak to that? If, where, or when only? And then we can get back. I have a note if you go back, if we end up back at the previous motion. Is anyone wishing to speak to the motion to refer? Microphone 1.
I'm actually first. He's
Oh.
first. Lisa Aid, Presbytery of Essex, Kent. I vote in favor of the referral, and I'm not sure if it's if, when, or where, so please feel free to roll me out of order if it's out of order. But if it is referred, could I suggest that we allow the ministry, Life and Mission Agency, to also speak to people who may be considering MAID due to terminal illness or pain, so that their voices are also heard in this document?
Okay, thank you. Technically, we can't change the motion to refer. Any more comments, just if, where, or when? Microphone 2.
Matthew Bruff, Presbyterian of Winnipeg. Moderator, just a question about a motion to refer. There's a lot that's added into this motion to refer, and I may agree with a bunch of it, but there might be also other things that I would have wanted to have them look at. Maybe this is the same question. It just, normally a motion to refer wouldn't have so much extra directive as to what kinds of things ought to happen with that motion to refer. So I'm just wondering about, we seem to be directing what should happen in the referral.
I understand.
And I'm concerned about that.
Okay, just hang on. Microphone 3, would you be willing to divide this motion into 2?
Absolutely, moderator. I would
All
be.
right, so what we'd like to have is simply this recommendation will be that recommendation CDC 001 be referred to the Life and Mission Agency, period. And then we'll have an additional motion if the mover so wishes. So we're still talking about referring to LMA if, where, or when. Microphone 1. Yeah.
Oh, Jeanette Cross from Lanark Renfrew Presbytery. I speak for the motion in support of this motion to refer.
Thank you. Microphone 2. Sir, go ahead.
Dan Boachen, Presbytery of the Kootenays. I'm really a little bit lost and just trying to, more like questioning than making a contribution. I think we all had conversations at our tables.
Sir, we're actually just talking about the motion to refer.
I speak against it.
Okay, thank you. And then if we have additional motions, you can speak to those. But right now it's just whether to, if, where, or when. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Microphone 4.
Thank you, Moderator. Robert Hayashi, Presbytery of Oak Ridges. I speak to the question of when, and I would perhaps ask the mover and seconder to perhaps consider asking to add to their motion to report back to General Assembly at a certain point, so it just doesn't go into this endless cycle. Thank you, Moderator.
We would agree to that, moderator.
To refer back to which General Assembly?
Next year, 2027.
Okay. Could that be added, please? And that they report back to the 2026 or 152nd General Assembly, as you wish. 2027. That's okay. All right, so we're still speaking to the motion to refer. Microphone 2? No, microphone 1? Yeah. Yep, we'll do 1, and then 4, and then back.
I think perhaps now that it's divided, sorry, moderator, Deb Stanbury, Presbytery of Hamilton. I think now that it's divided, what I was going to say is probably being dealt with, or potentially will be dealt with. I do think, though, that that extra bit that it was part and now isn't, does get into the specifics of what the original prayer was.
Okay, we're just speaking about this.
Yeah,
Well, we
sorry.
may well have an additional motion,
Yes.
so
Sorry.
thanks. Microphone 4. 4, go ahead.
Yes, Glenn Kukula from the Lindsay Peterborough Presbytery, moderator. Referring it back, of course, I support the motion to refer back, but the question I have is, we had a discussion around tables. Should this not be referred to the other lower church courts for feedback first before a committee makes a major decision like this. This is a major doctrinal decision.
Yeah. Should this motion pass, then it would be up to the Life and Mission Agency when they report back to request that it be brought for study and report.
Okay, thank you.
Possibly, yeah. Microphone 1.
Moderator, James Clark, Presbyterian here on Perth. I just had a question, and perhaps it's a clarification for the original movers, or moderator, you might be able to help me. Is the intention of this motion, because there's been a few conversations, and again, I want to speak strictly to the report and not to the work ethic or any of the personal people on the Doctrine Committee, but is the intention of this motion to basically take this particular conversation and move it and refer it, it's a question of where, strictly only to the Life and Mission Agency, and to basically remove doctrine from the conversation? I would support the motion. I'm just trying to be clear.
The motion we're looking at as it is simply to LMA, and then they could, if they so choose, consult. They certainly take this report, and they could consult, probably, I don't know, I can't speak for them, but with the Church Doctrine Committee.
That makes sense to me. Thank you, moderator.
Okay. People at 1 have been waiting for a while, so microphone 1.
I wanted to speak to the original.
I'm sorry, we can't do that right now. Yeah, if the motion to refer fails, then we can speak to the original motion, or an additional motion at some point can be brought forward.
Okay, I'd like to speak to the motion to refer Candace Bahador, Presbytery of Brampton. I'm in support of this motion to refer so that the pastoral component is added to this report. I do agree with the original, but I understand that we need pastoral resources as well. So I would be in support of this motion to refer.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just if, where, and when. Okay, microphone 3, and then, I'm sorry. You're ready? Microphone 1.
Yeah, sorry, I had a point of clarification. Yeah. Emma Carlson, Presbyterian of Montreal, and on behalf of the R's, we support.
Talk a little closer.
Oh,
thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emma Carlson, Presbyterian of Montreal, and on behalf of the young adults, we support the motion to refer this.
Thank you, and you'll have an advisory vote. Microphone 3.
David Sturdivant, Presbytery of Newfoundland. I speak in favor of the motion to refer. I think that the Committee on Church Doctrine has done a wonderful job with what they've put out, but I don't know as a minister how I would use that document in having a really delicate conversation with someone who was considering this. And I think that because what is needed are those pastoral resources,
just if.
I speak in favor of the motion to refer. Thank you, moderator.
Thanks. Microphone 3 again, and then back to 2.
Erwin Cunningham, Vancouver Island Presbytery. Moderator, I would speak against the motion to refer. I think it is important for the church to have clear doctrinal positions, and it does not preclude us also then developing the pastoral resources necessary for talking about those, for sharing them, for using them also within within a pastoral setting. So I would speak against the referral. I think we should move back to the original motion.
Thank you. Microphone 2.
Matthew Rattan, Presbytery of Barrie. I want to speak against the motion to refer, and for the following reason. It says it wants to refer to the Life and Mission Agency. I thought this might be helpful to the court, that according to the PCC website, that agency exists to provide resources to the church that envision innovative models for ministries, responds to disasters, helps refugees, supports development projects, aids communication, works with Indigenous people, plans youth events, explores issues of faith and justice, offers guidance for discerning vocations for ordained ministry. So they do a lot. My concern with the motion to refer is that it bypasses the work of the Doctrine Committee and puts it onto this agency. So I like the idea of more pastoral resources, but I think we need to deal with some of the doctrinal things first so that we know how to respond. Thank you, moderator.
Microphone 2.
We're not, yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Microphone 4.
Moderator, my name is John Crawford from the Presbyterian New Brunswick. I speak against the motion to refer. The reason being is this. Am I not loud enough? Sorry. A little, even closer? Oh, wow. Okay. We put a lot of work into this. We come from a very diverse group on the Church Doctrine Committee. I think the LMA, I think it's overreach. I don't think this is the place for the LMA to be involved directly. I think this is the work of the Doctrine Committee. My observation of Presbyterians at this point, and I'm one of them, I've been one for 30 years, and before that, but is we don't like to say something clearly if it hurts somebody else. We don't. None of us do. But at some point, we have to begin somewhere with something to say. Now, pastorally speaking, I'm all in favor, and I said this at the committee, I'm all in favor of pastoral resources, of having a way to walk with people to the very end. I've done it many times.
All right.
But I just want
just
give me,
if, where, or when, okay?
So
for the refer,
but
please.
This should not be referred, period. So we either have a doctrine committee or we don't. And this is a doctrinal matter, first and foremost. Then it's a pastoral matter.
Thank you.
Immediate vote.
Microphone 2, then 1. We'll go back and forth. Oh, sorry. Were you going to move?
Yeah. I was going to move for an immediate vote.
Well.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. All right. The motion, and do you have a seconder for an immediate vote?
Neil Ellis.
Okay. There's no debate for an immediate vote. So, Yars, do you want an advisory vote for this? Yes. And students? Okay. Motion to have an immediate vote. Yars and students, all those in favor of an immediate vote? Those opposed of an immediate vote? Okay. You've been advised, commissioners, all in favor of an immediate vote. All opposed. The motion for an immediate vote carries. So now we vote on this motion to refer. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Yars and students, I'm losing my words. The motion to refer, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, you've been advised. Commissioners, the motion to refer, all those in favor? Opposed? All right, we're going to have a standing vote. Do you want to lead this?
Moderator, for a standing vote, if you would call again those who are in favor of the motion to refer, you have to be really clear here. If you didn't vote the first time, please don't vote this time. That's why it's important to vote all the time. But if you did not raise your card for or against, please don't get up at either of them. So if you voted in favor, please stand, and then the clerks will go and count you out. Thank you.
All right, commissioners in favor, and we'll just pause while they count things. Commissioners, please stand if you are against the motion to refer. The motion to refer passes.
Moderator. Oh.
Microphone 4 and then 3.
Moderator Jerry Verwey from the Presbyterian of Vancouver Island. I'd like to record my dissent. The reason being that this recommendation appears, at least to me, to provide the whole doctrinal question to the Life and Mission Agency rather than what was requested as a providing resources to do this. So
Okay.
in that order, I provide my dissent.
Thank you. It's been noted. Microphone 2.
Jinsu Kang from the Presbyterian of Eastern Hanka. I'd like to record my dissent with explanation.
Thank you. Microphone.
Moderator, just would like to clarify that if you just say your dissent, you can say your dissent. If you choose to talk to it here but not write your dissent, it won't be recorded in the minutes. So if you want a written dissent, you're going to have to fill out the form that we talked about and send it. If you don't, we would request that you just keep your dissent to that you're expressing your dissent.
Okay. And that needs to be in within a few days. Microphone 2.
Matthew Rattan, Presbytery of Barrie. I'd like to record my dissent and will submit my reasons by writing.
Thank you. Been noted. Microphone 2.
Meredith, whoa. I can stand back here and be heard. Meredith Robertson, Presbyterian of Kootenay, and I would like my vote, or my dissent noted.
Okay. Microphone 4.
Thank you, moderator. Robert Hayashi, Presbyterian of Oak Ridges. I would like to record my dissent. Thank you, moderator.
Yeah. 3.
Erwin Cunningham, Presbyterian of Vancouver Island. I would like my dissent recorded with reasons to be submitted.
Noted. 1.
Jeanette Cross from Lanark Renfrew. We're now talking about the original recommendation? No.
No, it's simply people registering their dissent at this
Dissent
point.
to?
To the motion to refer that was just passed.
Okay. I'm in support of the
Okay,
motion.
so thanks. 2.
Moderator Richard Watson, Presbyterian of Westminster. I wish to record my dissent. Reasons will be submitted.
Okay, 4, sorry. No one at 4, sorry. 1.
Connie Madsen, Presbyterian of the Northwest. I would like to record my dissent.
All right, 4.
Sarah Morales from Presbyterian of West Toronto, and I would like to record my dissent. I will be sending in my reasons why.
Okay. So could you say your name again to the mic? Thanks.
Sarah Morales.
Thank you. 3.
John Peng from Vancouver Island, Presbyterian moderator. I wish to express my dissent, and I will be sending my notes in later. Thank you.
Okay, 3 again.
Colin Cross from the Presbyterian of Kamloops. I would like to record my dissent.
Right, 1.
Bill Patterson, Presbyterian of Oak Ridges, and I should like to thank the clerk for pointing out to us to register our to provide written.
Okay. 4.
Wayne Reed, Lindsay, Peterborough. I'd like to record my dissent, and I will submit it in writing.
Okay. 4.
Thank you, moderator. Romulus Road.
Could you turn the mic just so that we can hear it? Thanks.
Representative from Presbyterian College. I just would like to ask a clarifying question. So now that the motion has been referred, the original motion will not be debated or talked about?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
If there are any other motions from the Doctrine Committee, of course, after this, it will come before us. I believe 4 again, and then 1, and then 2.
Thank you, moderator. Mine's not dissent, so if there are further dissents, please proceed.
Oh, okay. 1.
Megan Penfold, Presbyterian of Huron-Perth. I'd like my dissent recorded. And could I have clarification for how long I have to submit writing?
The clerk. 10 days.
Thank you.
2. Lynn Dodd, Presbyterian of Barrie, and I would like to record my dissent, and I will submit my reasons.
Okay, microphone 2.
Aubrey Houghton, Presbyterian of Barrie. I will record my dissent and submit reasons.
Could you say your name again, the last speaker? I'm sorry.
Aubrey Houghton. I may be recorded as Ronald Houghton, so I used my middle name.
Okay.
This says Aubrey. My registration package said Ronald.
Very good. We'll check both. Thank you. All right. I saw 4 first, or?
4 first.
Okay, 3.
Moderator, Angela J. Clooney, Presbyterian of Pickering. I do have an additional motion before I've submitted to for today for the CDC, for the Church Doctrine Committee. Reference number CDC 00. I don't know if it's number 2 or 1 that I'm still referring to, because it's 1. It's the second half of the original motion to refer.
Yeah.
That the church, so it's called CDC AD1, that the Life and Mission Agency develop a pastoral response with helpful liturgical resources to assist ministers, chaplains, and pastoral visitors walking alongside those considering MAID and their families, as well as those who have chosen MAID, And I move this motion because I feel that the church doctrine's response does not answer the original prayer, which was to create a practical and faithful response document for those of us who are ministering and those who are considering it within our church. I feel that this response allows the Life and Mission Agency to create such a document through their congregational life and other departments like ministry and church vocations and justice ministries that may be able to help them, that the Church Doctrine Committee is not able to do in their scope of their work that they have already done. But we would like to continue the work through the Life and Mission Agency. It is moved by myself and seconded by Neil Ellis, Lindsay Peterborough.
Okay, the motion is before us. Any discussion? Microphone 1.
Jeanette Cross from Lanark and Renfrew. I'm in support of this motion. I feel it's very, very important for all of us in our roles to companion those that are before, during, and after, and not just the person, but their families and extended families and those that are involved or will be affected.
1 again, and then 4.
Emma Carlson, Presbytery of Montreal, and on behalf of the young adults, I would like to speak for this motion. And we would like to raise the point that in addition to people who are considering MAID, we feel strongly that when you're looking at these pastoral resources, this is a conversation that has to happen before that person gets to the point of wanting to choose MAID. Because I work for a rare disease patient organization, and one of the #1 things that we have people reaching out to us for is, I have been to doctors, they're not listening. I have tried every single resource in my province and I don't know where to go. And if you look at some of the testimonies that the Canadian government has published from people who have chosen MAID, one comment that comes up is, I didn't have anywhere else to go. I didn't have other options. And so I think that in this, the church really needs to discern, why are people not turning to the church for this? Are we not providing the support? And how do we, as ministers, as lay people, as congregations, walk with people in their suffering so that they feel supported and cared for? Because one thing is, for example, people with chronic illnesses, if they are not cared for, if they don't get the medical care if they receive, if they are neglected in their social environments, they will decline, and a lot of times they will become terminal. And so I think as part of this, we also have to consider preventative actions as well.
Thank you. If you wish to move an amendment, that's possible. And I note the advisory vote. Thank you. 4. Go ahead.
Jerry Verway, Presbyterian of Vancouver Island. I support this motion because I think that was the original intent. And I sort of feel for Life and Mission Agency now that they've got 2 almost conflicting things to work with.
Right. 3.
Moderator Steve Boos, Presbytery of Brampton. While I speak in favor of this additional motion, I do have a question for church doctrine, which is, what is the current doctrinal statement or position of the Presbyterian Church in Canada on MAID? Just a brief clarification. Or do we even have a doctrinal statement or position that has been adopted by the church? I sometimes get this question from my congregants. What is the Presbyterian Church in Canada's position? I fully agree with this, but what is our position currently? Because what I saw coming with recommendation 1 was an attempt to move to a statement.
Okay, if that could be noted by you as we move forward in the motions, and if you could include that. Let's just vote on this motion first.
Thank you, Margaret.
And then 1.
Kate McClellan from New Brunswick. I'm going to speak in favor of this motion. I just wanted people to know that as a family that's had to deal with the issue of MAID and how close it was to us, there were a lot of questions to me, particularly because my brother was a longtime elder of the Presbyterian Church. But a lot of questions came to me about this, and I had no answers or no resources to go to, so I am very much in favor of having the resources and things available for people and families.
Thank you. 2.
Matthew Rattan, Presbytery of Barrie. I would like to speak against the motion for the following reason, because there does seem to be some ambiguity about what is going on as it relates, the relationship between doctrine and the resources we are producing in this cultural moment. So one of the things that the report itself had said was talking about the cultural moment in Canada, which we need to be aware of when we're making motions like this, because what we are dealing with this in this country is not just what people are dealing with in other countries. To quote Jonathan Griffiths, as it relates to Canada's acceleration of MAID, what began as a limited allowance for terminally ill patients has expanded beyond all recognition in a few short years. And quote, Canada is now the leader in assisted suicide. So the concern with what we are doing rapidly and why so many interest groups are concerned is that this is being expanded. However, we need a response doctrinally that we can get on the same page about, which we do not yet have, before we can provide these types of resources, which seem to suggest a certain conclusion. So I speak against the motion, moderator, because we can't put the cart before the horse.
Thank you. 2 again, then 4.
Matthew Bruff, Presbytery of Winnipeg. I'm in favor of this motion. However, I feel like obviously more work needs to be done, and so I share some of the same concerns. We don't only have people in our congregations and people we're encountering who are considering MAID, but we also have people who are in end-of-life situations or a situation of suffering who are not choosing MAID, and might be having things like, I've had folks who have had family pressure even to think about maybe you should be choosing this. I think we also want to address those pastoral situations, but I don't want to make this into a catch-all, right? And so I support the motion, but I'm hoping that the Life and Mission Agency will be able to provide some broad help for ministers that are dealing in often very complex situations, that it's not just about having some helpful prayers. Those would be very helpful for these particular situations, but also there are those complexities on the ground. I think we're all aware of those, but I'm hoping this isn't going to limit how we respond in those complex pastoral situations. I'm hoping it'll open that up.
Okay. Well, members of the Life and Mission Agency are here and hopefully noting our discussion. 4?
That's me. Deb Stanbury, Presbytery of Hamilton. I speak in favor of this additional motion. Regardless of what our doctrine is or may yet be, this is our pastoral reality. And we needed resources 3 years ago. We needed resources 3 years before that. We need resources now in order to walk alongside. And so I speak in favor of this motion.
Thank you. Microphone 2.
Moderator Susan Kerr, Presbytery of Hamilton. I speak in favor of the motion. Morris West, in his book Proteus, said the tyrants must hear the growling in the forest and the victims must hear the singing in the darkness. And so in speaking in favor of this motion, I would encourage Life and Mission, should the motion be adopted, to consider that part of pastoral visitors walking alongside includes increased advocacy for healthcare spending and how to do that in encompassing care.
Okay, and again, noted in the discussion, but unless it's an amendment, of course, the motion is as is. 1?
Moderator Richard Watson, Presbytery of Westminster. Just want to speak in favor of this additional motion, making clear that I believe this is a priority, and if I could associate myself with the sentiments of Deb Stanbury, I would wholeheartedly appreciate that. That I don't have much more to say about that other than we still haven't addressed the doctrinal issue, and perhaps there might be an additional motion in order for that.
There's still another motion under the MAID section.
Okay, thank you.
In the Church Doctrine Report. 1?
Emma Carlson, Montreal Presbytery. And in light of our comments, I have an amendment.
An amendment,
Yeah,
okay.
seconded by Nalani.
Could that be put up, please? Sorry, that's the amendment?
No, there's a, no.
Oh, I see. Okay, we'll just pause for a moment.
Would you like me to discuss or wait till it?
Not until it's
Okay.
on the screen,
Sounds
please.
good. So in light of Galatians 6:2, which calls us to bear one another's burdens, and this way you fulfill the law of Christ, I have added "and congregations" to that list of people that these resources will be developed for, because I believe very firmly that it is not just the responsibility of our leaders, but also the people within our churches to support people as they walk through this. And the second thing I added was that in light of my comments about these people who feel unsupported and end up choosing MAID because of systematic neglect, adding those with serious health concerns and chronic illnesses to the people that are considered when developing these resources, so that we can look at how do we help support people so that this is not a decision that they even have to necessarily face.
Okay, thank you. Any, microphone 3.
Angela J. Clooney, Presbytery of Pickering. Moderator, I would like to say I support this wholeheartedly that has just been presented. That was the original intent of my original motion in 2023. So I would support this and hope that the court will agree.
Thank you. Okay. All right. No. Yeah. YARs and students, we're voting on the amendment. All those in favor? Opposed? You've been advised, commissioners, the amendment. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now we'll have the amended motion. There it is. Thank you. So we're speaking to this.
Yeah. Okay. Amended
Just
motion.
wait. There we go. Yes, there's the amended motion. Thank you. Microphone 2.
Duncan Robertson, Presbytery of Montreal. I'd like to also make an amendment. I have a seconder.
Just hang on. Are you amending the amendment?
No. I'm amending. We've already voted on the
Okay.
amended. We've already approved the amended.
You're absolutely right. I apologize.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
An amendment?
I'm approving an amendment to the amended motion.
Right. Got it.
Okay, and the amendment would read that in consultation with church doctrine, and then continue, the Life and Mission Agency develop a pastoral, etc. I have a seconder for the amendment.
And has it been sent?
I'm going to send it now because I was too slow.
All right, you can see the amendment, adding in consultation with the Church Doctrine Committee. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion on the amendment. Microphone 1. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Reverend James Clark, Presbyterian Perth. I speak against the amendment, although I support the idea of consultation between church doctrine and life and mission. My struggle is, it feels like it's the same difficulty that has placed the GA in this long discussion, which is the motion previously said we want church doctrine to develop a pastoral response, and now we're saying we want life and mission to develop, in consultation with church doctrine, a pastoral response. And so it's doctrine is one side and life and mission is one side. And so I think it's kind of like sending church doctrine in to do something that Life and Mission Agency is uniquely qualified to do. And so I think I would speak against it for that reason, because I think what will happen is there's a debate happening about whether or not we want a doctrinal position or a pastoral response. And I think they should work together on both, but this doesn't achieve that. Does that make sense? Thank you, moderator.
2.
Matthew Breff, Presbytery of Winnipeg. I believe earlier there was a question asked about what is the doctrinal position of the Presbyterian Church in Canada? And moderator, you said maybe we'd defer that till later. I'm just wondering if this might be the appropriate time to raise that question, just to hear some comments about where that stands right now, especially for commissioners who may not have tracked, like myself, might not have tracked what happened 2 years ago at General Assembly and how we got to where we are. It just may be helpful to hear some comments, or maybe the person who asked the question more eloquently than I'm raising it again might be able to do it again. But just some comments about
Okay,
where
I'll
the
allow
doctrine is
that.
at.
Would you please state what the position is right now of the PCC, like before any
thank you.
changes here?
Thank you, moderator. It's in the report on page 1 at the bottom. The Presbyterian Church in Canada opposes MAID as medical, legal, and social response to suffering and death. I can't take you at the moment through the various meetings and reports. It's been over the years that it's gone back and forth. It goes back to the period before MAID, when we're talking of euthanasia and assisted suicide. So there seems to be a continuous strain about that. That's where we are now. What we haven't done is a full doctrinal analysis of end of life, and as part of that, and this is just my opinion, that involves the idea of the human, which the Pope has recently addressed in his latest encyclical. We haven't done that at the moment. I'm not inviting that, but it may be something the Assembly wants us to do.
Thanks for that clarification. Microphone 1.
Jeanette Crossland Renfrew. I feel we're going in circles with amending amendments. The Life and Mission Agency can consult without us putting it into an amendment with other committees, if I'm not mistaken. So they could talk with the Doctrine Committee, Justice, etc. Is that correct?
Of course, the LMA can choose to talk with whatever committee they choose. Yeah.
Yeah, so to me this is redundant then, the Life and Mission Agency in consultation with the Church Doctrine Committee. And they can consult not only with them but with others if they feel necessary. So I think this just muddies the waters, and I speak against this amendment for that reason.
Thank you. 4?
Kathy Stewart, Waterloo, Wellington Presbytery. In my understanding, pastoral includes theology. I would like to hear something from LMA about how they might go about doing, if this passed, with or without the amendment, how they would go about doing this, and whether it would include theology.
Okay. Is anyone from LMA able to speak to that? We'll just hear from me and Ross McDonald for clarification right now, and then we'll get back to you.
Moderator, Ian Ross McDonald, the Life and Mission Agency's General Secretary. First of all, we would certainly consult with a number of bodies in the Church, foremost with Church Doctrine, but also with the National Indigenous Ministry Council and any other institutions and agencies of the Church that have some area of contribution to this. In terms of how we would go about fulfilling this recommendation if it's adopted, I would like to think that all of our work is theologically informed. We have a number of theologians on staff, and we try to make sure that all of the work that we do is theologically grounded, biblically grounded, and we would probably begin by working on worship resources or liturgical resources or pastoral prayer resources and move out from there, and also provide some support for ministers and elders and other pastoral care teams in the form of webinars and teaching and support in the area of best practices and care.
Thank you. Microphone 3.
Bartholomew Alexander, Presbytery of Calgary McLeod. I'm speaking in favor of this amendment. I think What we really want is a pastoral aid in dealing with the reality that this is coming to our congregations. It's already come to our congregations. How do you deal with the aftermath with the families? That we need, but I think we don't want to give up the idea that this isn't the only option for people, and how would you make sure, counsel people to alternatives to just to death. So I think the Church Doctrine Committee is well suited to provide advice, so I speak in favor of that.
Thank you. Assembly, we need to break for lunch, so we're going to do what we did with another matter, and I'll call the microphone number, and if you would just say your name, then we'll pick up where we left off. I'm sorry about that. Microphone 4.
Brenda Patterson, London Presbytery.
2.
Kevin Livingston, Pickering.
1.
Joy Prue, Presbytery of Lindsay, Peterborough.
Sorry. 2.
Meredith Robertson, Presbytery of Kootenai. I just have a question. So I don't want, like, I was up in line before, so I don't want to get lost. That's my concern.
I don't understand. You're asking.
I wasn't in this group standing, the ones who just were at the mic. I was here way before, waiting to get to the mic for a question, and then the amendment people came. That's fine.
Right, that's the way it works sometimes.
Yeah, no, I realize that. I don't want my question to get lost.
Okay, we'll note it's a question. Microphone 4.
Jeffrey Crawford, the Presbytery of Waterloo, Wellington.
Q3, 4 again.
Chandra Mannix, Presbytery of Calgary McLeod. It's for the motion that's in the queue.
Sorry, you have an additional motion?
That's in the queue, yeah.
Okay. 3?
Neil Ellis, Lindsay, Peterborough.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll see you after lunch. Thanks, and we'll close.
Thank you, moderator.
This assembly is adjourned to meet again in the Second Student Center in Toronto, York University on Wednesday, the 10th of June, 2026. Hello. At 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Let's rise. Let us pray. O Lord our God, how great is your name in all the earth. You have called us to be your beloved children, to struggle together in darkness and in difficult places, to help one another and learn from one another as we seek your wisdom. By your Spirit, you've been faithful to your covenant in all generations, so we give you thanks, O God, our Creator and Redeemer. In Jesus' name, amen.